Welcome back everyone, I'm Craven and this is Satisfactory. We're here at our, well, fully running biofuel factory, solid fuel factory. And the belts are full and the box is slowly filling as well. So we're doing pretty good. And as you can see, the base resources are still flowing into the machines. So for the time being, power-wise, we should be good. Yes, definitely. But for today, what I want to do is I want to rebuild the entire iron factory. I want to put it on a platform and build it up from scratch with whatever we have and make it a little bit better. Will this be the final build of the factory? Probably not, but that's the thing of Satisfactory. You build, store, demolish and rebuild. That's to make it better each and every time. And when we unlock the stuff for more beautiful buildings, then we're really gonna start looking at factories and how we want to actually build and use them. And I got ideas. Like I said, two things I really want in this playthrough is I want to be able to functionally use trains. So I want to learn how to probably use them properly. And of course, I'm a fan of driving around with the buggy, going from one place to another, so there has to be a road here as well that I can use myself. And of course, maybe a hypertube system with the new additions. Maybe like the basics that we want. So for now, let's start rebuilding an iron factory. And to do that, what do we need to do? We need to scratch it all. It's gone. I deleted it from the face of this, well, Massage AB, just so we can start over again. And here are the boxes with all the ingredients that we had in there. That thing, I just left it there to just keep on building so I can use the supplies to build even more. So what is the plan? Well, we got 3 normal nodes here, which will give us 180 in resources. I want to use them all, basically so that in the end we can make reinforced plates and rotors here as well. If we can get that far, that if we have plates, poles, screws, reinforced plates and rotors, if we can all make that here right now, I will be happy, because it means that we have a lot of the basic stuff ready to order. Before we start putting the floor down, I want to unlock something else first, which could help us build better. The Mark II, and of course the stackable conveyor pole. So let's unlock that. I did manually make the reinforced plates. Let's hope it will be some of our last that we are making.
Milestone reached. Fixit would like to remind you of your contractual obligation towards efficiency. Recreational use of belts and lifts does not count towards work hours and will put you on the list. Stay efficient, don't disappoint, Fixit.
Don't disappoint, just fix it. Alright, so let's see, what do we use for that? Reinforced. Okay, so if we want to do that, and I think in some places that might be useful, because like the original one is max 60. That means we have one belt we can put out of the miner and put it into other stuff. We cannot combine the result of the miners into something more than that. In some places we might want to do that, and the 120 will be a good start in doing that. So places where we're gonna combine stuff that has more than 60, we gotta use these belts. And later on, when we go to Mark III or Mark IV, we'll get better belts that are easier to make, so then we can just change everything. But for now, these two will do nicely. And the same thing for the lifts, of course. Stackable means we can make multiple layers of our conveyor belts, making it look all nice and pretty. Because an idea that I had is up there on that ridge we should have 2 more iron nodes. I think if we combine the ore coming from there with what we have over there, we should have more than enough iron to supply us with what we need for everything we want to make. So let's show you that. Really? Really? I pressed the wrong button and I fall to my death. Well, figuratively speaking, of course, because the chance of me dying here do exist. They're just not very big. And yes, I've seen it on top of there. More Mercer. Just need to see if this is... Yeah, it's impure. Okay. I'd rather have 2 normals, but since this is the grassy field, I shouldn't expect to... Okay, can you still on top of it? Really? Come here. Okay, so I'm guessing the other one next to it is dead as well. Yes, alright. So, later on, when we start building there, I will also start putting miners on this and getting it all the way over there. And I think if we then just put all the smelters together, maybe, they work nicely. Unless we can build a side product that we can use for stuff there. But like, I have to think about that. There is also something else that I saw while I was going over the leaves that I needed to make my biofuel factory go haywire. And that's over in that direction. And since I want to try to get as many of the data tags as we can, I will probably miss a few because I'm just playing. There it is. Crash site. Or there's something we can get from there that is going to be very useful. Just don't know if we can already get things out of there. Ooh, careful. Oop, there you are. I missed you for a bit. Come here, you hawk. Alright. Free goodies, as always, around here. Rods, so far, things that I can make or am striving to. Concrete, cable, nice amount as well. I think that's it. Alright. Here. It just needs power. Okay, so we can do that. Does it mean that we want... Ooh, is it... It is close to... relatively close, yes. I was thinking of making a biofuel generator and let it run, but if we this close, we can do it like this. Because I want to open it up. Because there's going to be a hard drive in there. And with that hard drive, we can learn new recipes. Which, with a little bit of luck, can be very beneficial for the factory we're about to make.
Damaged hard drive successfully acquired. All pioneers are contractually obliged to preserve and secure any recovered hard drives for analysis in the MAM, which may result in benefits to the Fix-It mission. Speculation as to why there are crashed freighters in your Fix-It designated zone is discouraged as specified in your contract.
Yes, we will not investigate. Maybe a little bit. Alright, gone. And with 1.1, I think it's from 1.1, we can now dismantle the crash sites. Meaning, free stuff everywhere. I think I will leave a couple there for aesthetic purposes. Other than that, it's freebies, and we cannot accidentally find it and think we can still unlock it. It's just gone, so that's good. Alright, and I know near here there is another. And after we've grabbed that, we're gonna go back to our factory floor and we're gonna start building. And I think I will put the floor down myself, and then together we'll start putting things on the ground. And in the meanwhile, while we wait for me making the floor, I can put the 2 hard drives into the Vietnam and let them be developed, and we can get a recipe out of it. And of course we'll show you which recipes I picked for that, because what I'm hoping for is something that will make the process easier. Maybe another reinforced plate recipe that makes it easier to make with less machines, or maybe something that gives us more iron, that way we don't need to import more ore. Either so, that would be great, but it does also involve a little bit of luck. Come on. Ah, just open the bestest kinds of door. Alright, 2 of them. Of course, all those resources are gonna be returned into our factories. The efficiency is everywhere in these actions. Awesome, that's it. Nice, clean, and gone. And yes, of course, there are dozens of others all across the world. And once we've made our base a bit bigger and we got some gear that will definitely benefit us in exploring, then we'll start fully exploring everywhere. Because it means that when we go, we need to take certain part with us that will help us unlock certain devices. Of course, because not everything is just power and freebies. So we need to have a lot of carry capacity. We also want to be able to travel a bit faster. So yeah, once we prepare for that, then we're really gonna go out for all those recipes. And I couldn't remember if the devices are still there, if we do not dismantle it, if we can still find them on the scanners, or if it's only when the computer is still in there. Dismantling totally, I know for sure they will not show up on the scan, so that's good regardless of what we do. Alright, so. Ooh, so I tap this so we can put it in the research.
Unknown crystalline mineral collected. This mineral is composed of the same chemical elements as quartz and may yield similar industrial functions. Research it in the MAM to establish classification and potential application.
Yeah, this is a nice one, and I know a few places where we can get them, but if we research them, we can actually scan for it. Because I know that they've changed a few nodes around. I'm pretty sure it's not going to be majorly a lot, but I do want to fight them if it is to our benefit. So let's put this straight in there. Quartz, yes. Do we have enough of that? Yes, we do.
The crystalline mineral was a previously unknown variation of quartz, with uniquely large and flawless crystals, normally only found in synthetic quartz. The industrial application of this mineral will follow that of its synthetic counterpart, specifically in communication and exploration technologies.
Alright, because I know of 2 big quartz locations. One in the Blue Forest and the other one where I usually put my coal generating energy supply. So yeah, we're gonna need a lot of that. But this is the one I want. Blade Runners. faster speed, farther jumping. It's awesome. Okay, hard rise, we got 2. So we are definitely want to scan those and get the proper recipe out of it. Alright, so for now, what else do we want? I think, so I can have a little bit of a look-see. We unlocked this last time. The shop. Yes. This is where a lot of the fun stuff comes from. We cannot get something from this now, but I want to see all the new stuff they added to it. Because it takes points to shop here. So it's here, we have, ooh, this is interesting, conveyor wall holes. Now instead of having the prefixed holes, we can make our own. Conveyor throughput, crystal oscillators, ooh. Nice, organization. Basic shelf unit, awesome. I think this is the same. I want my concrete foundations, I love those. More patterns? No, I think these are all the same. And if we unlock some other stuff in the tier list, we might unlock more here too. God, that's the glasses is awesome as well. Yes, the personal elevator. Yes, we love that too. Structural cable pack. Ooh, that's nice for the customization part of things. Yes. And so, ooh, ventilation bundle. Yeah, make it look like a proper factory. We want those as well. Yeah, and in order to be able to access the points here, we need to make more product than we actually need, so we can sync it into another machine that generates tickets that we can then spend. That's not for this episode, that's probably going to be the one after, because if we are done with our iron factory, we should have more than we need eventually. And what is left, we'll put it in a sink. Start generating those points. And a bunch later, when we have unlocked even more, we're gonna like skyrocket those points so we can get all that we want. So for now, let's place down some platforms where we're gonna start building, unlocking the recipes, and see where we go from there. So I'll see you when the platforms are on the ground. So by now, all hard drive has been scanned and we've got some recipes. I have looked into what I would have liked to have, and based on that I re-rolled the original one of the first one. That's why the first one still has a rescan, the second rescan, and this one hasn't. But it also gives me a little bit of a hard choice that we have to make. With this recipe, these two, the bolted iron plate and the stitched iron plate, the answer is clear, very clear. We can remove screws out of the equation, and it's almost like a meme in the community of Satisfactory, as far as I am concerned, that screws will get you screwed. So yeah, you want to not use them as much as possible, and if you do, use it better, which I will come back in a second. So we're gonna go with the stitched iron plate, meaning that we can use iron plate and wire to make our iron plate. And I have thought about how we can use that. So let's select this one. And for the other one, both are great recipes. And that makes this a hard choice, because it means that we can change our wire to use iron ingot to make the wire instead of copper. Meaning that we can, because there is just more iron nodes around the world, and we can use that for wire too. Meaning that if we don't have any copper nearby, we can still use iron to make the copper wire in order to make a recipe. The other one is cast screws. What this means is that you cut out the middleman, if I see this correctly. Normally you make from ingots to pipes, and then you make it into screws. Now it goes directly from one to the other. I think the end result is the same, but because we cut out the middleman, you won't use the power that you normally have to get to that step, making your factory a bit smaller when it comes to screws. So then now you can see why this is harder, but after I had a thought about it, I think I'm gonna go with cast screws. If this ever pops up again, and I'm sure it will, gonna be our first pick straight away. Because it means that our facility here, which is still not gonna be the final one, because we need better belts in order to do that. Because I was thinking, how can I make this so that it's beneficial? Can we just make 8 smelters and let everything go into that? Technically yes, but we still need like separate belts in order to get there, because we can go with 60 right now. With a bit of effort we can go 120, but we need the plating in order to do that more standardly. So yeah, not our final form just yet. So what was my idea? It's 2 ways. One, we have 2 iron nodes, even though they're impure, there that we can put in our base if we need a bit more. But on the other hand, I saw that one, which is basically here, which for my idea, I don't think that's pretty far, meaning that we can have 2 normals. If we put them together, we have more than enough copper to do whatever we want, at least for the foreseeable future. So yeah, that's also one of the reasons why I thought, yeah, let's just go with the screws for now. Alright, so we wanted to rebuild everything on plates, making it a little bit better. Now we got 2 alternative recipes that's gonna help minimize the entire thing. They're all normal, so we have 60, 120, 180, meaning that per miner we have in need of 2 smelters. So let's put them up and let's play around with that. So we need production, smelter. Shall we put them a little bit in the middle? Put a little bit of room between it so we can walk in between. I'm gonna put you next to it, and I guess I need to go a bit lower for that. Good. That's 2 for this, 2 for this. And then we need 2 for you too. Go back up again. Because like always, I like to get up nice and high when I place my stuff on the ground. Again, a little bit of room in between, just to make sure they're all separate. So now we have to make our splitters. Should work. And then, no. Ow. We can still work it. And then, same here. And this one might be a little bit different because it comes from there. I can't go on it yet. We need better legs in order to do that. Straight. Yep. Come on. Don't jump over it, jump on it. Yes, thank you. Perfect. And then from there. Again, he's done it a couple of times that he shows me where it goes. It's exactly where I want it to go to. And then before I click it, it changes his mind on where to go. Alright. Perfect. Now let's pick the right recipe. The minute it turns on, that it knows what it's doing. Now we just need to assign what's going to be made in what's coming out of it. So each have an exit of 30, which is good. So shall we do plates, poles and screws just to start out with, and then just build from there? Because I think the constructor, at least we should be, yeah, 30 on 20. And of course, any plates we have in excess will just go straight into storage. And later on, if we can split out everything, we'll is it enough to, should be enough, right? We'll put it all up for our big old sink. So if we want to make poles, that's 15, meaning we should be able to make 2 per one smelter. And since we no longer need in order to make poles, in order to make screws, we're only making it for our own personal usage, direct usage. So this is 12.5 iron ingots. Interesting. Meaning we can have, well, let's just keep it at 2 per smelter, and we will make 50 per minute, so that will be 100 per minute. Oh, that is very interesting. It means we can make a shit ton of those. Which one was it? I'm trying to. There it is. Okay, so we have reinforced plate. We have stitched, where we only need iron plates and of course the wire, which will come from another location. So we can make more iron plates. We can make another constructor for iron plates. Why not? What's the worst that can happen? And then what's the other one? The rotors. The steel needs 100 per minute. Good to know. So let's make 1 smelter making 2 rods and 1 smelter for extra for iron plates, and then these 2 will be full on screwed. So the 2 that goes from 1 smelter will be enough for the rotors, and the rest will be for our own storage or for whatever future recipes we needed. Yes, I think we got a plan here, and it's still not tall enough for me to jump up on my legs. Okay, now that we know what we want to do with it, let's see if we can group it all together a little bit better, so the end result comes out everywhere the same. Alright, so I'm gonna place down a few constructors and then we'll move on from there. I think that would be perfect. Alright, and this is how my constructor setup ended up being. Because at first I thought, let's just put everything really nicely in a row, and then I thought that would be really crowded together, and we have the room. And we already know that we are going to make this into a proper factory at some point. So why not just use a little bit more room? So, as you can see, I separated into, well, basically 3 selections of constructors. The 3 is for the plates, 1-on-1 ratio, very easy. The middle one is for the poles. 2 machines can make that, and per smelter we can also have 2 making screws, which ends up to our 4 constructors over there. And these will all, well, basically eventually end up in a storage, of course, where we will collect everything together. Now that we have this, next stage that we want to go for is, well, which lines are we going to use to make the plates, and of course potentially the rotors, because that's our next stage that we want to go for. Because we have our concrete being made there, we have over there our copper wire and our cable, which I already have the idea of our next section that we want to add to it, which is going to be our next big part that we want to do after we finish this. But first we need to finish this. So what we're going to do is, well, we're going to place a few assemblers to these lines and add a few, well, containers as well. And what I'm thinking about is all lines should end at the same locations. Like I will want to make a gigantic storage facility later on, but I think when we are going to switch over into proper factories, then we'll make the big old storage location where everything comes together in the end, so that we can easily grab everything if you want to do it physically. I think that's something nice to have something like that. But for now we want to make, depending on our output, at least 2 assemblers per piece, so we can start making the process of well, making rotors, making plates, according also to the new recipe. So we're going to make sure we have everything like that. And even though the reinforced plate we cannot completely finish because we want to have some copper wire from that, meaning that we want to have that piece over here on this side of the base, so the plates are going to go all around so it can meet up with the copper wire. But I might want to build the extension on the copper wire first, but I'll decide upon that once we finish off our next part. So I think we need some extra flooring, most definitely, so let's do that, shall we? So back to the ground we are. That's our machine, so let's not use that for a time being. And like I said before, this is not yet the stage for beautification. That will be later when we have all the extra parts and all that. We can make it more like cement, and we can make buildings from that. So yeah. So for next thing, where do we want these assemblers? Because if we look at the parts, we know that reinforced plates will be using plates and wire. So if we say this, we need 18.75. If we look over here, what are we making? We are making 60. So we have plenty of that. Technically, we could even make 2 machines making those things for up and still have plates left for it. So we even might do that. I think that is not even that bad of an idea, especially if we're going to increase our copper feed there, so we can even make more copper wire. I think that might be a good idea. And for the rotors we just need, well, poles and screws, which is where we are standing, plus over there. So I'm feeling that we can, well, basically put them all in the same location. I think we should just do that. Because everything is going to end up here anyway. So if we make it even a little bit bigger, and we'll make it a bit more neat in a bit. So let's say we want 2 for the reinforced plates, and you want at least 1 for the rotors. 100 screws. Yeah, let's just keep it at 1 until we get a better rotor recipe. I'm sure there is one out there. God, that's a lot of screws per minute. What we are making here is about 50 per minute, so we're making 200 per minute. We could, but I want to have some screws left for myself as well. So then we have here what we want to make for our plates. We're going to do the alternative stitch for these two, and then I will suggest that here we'll make the container farm where everything eventually shows up. Plates, poles, screws, reinforced, and rotors. Yes, that is. Yeah. So we're gonna have a little bit of a, well, let's say a lot of conveyor belts, but like I said, it's a temporary thing until we're actually gonna make a factory. So it's gonna be fun. So let's make all those conveyor belts, and while we're busy with that, let's also make sure that all the power is arranged, and then after that we can focus on our copper. Because what I want to do, once we have everything attached, I want to put everything already on so they can start working, and technically our iron part of this is done, and then we can start focusing on rebuilding that up there for copper in the overdrive. But what I want to see is when everything is attached, how much power are we actually using and how much do we have left. Do we need to readjust the well, our biofuel generator, or is it still doing enough for now? Because once this is done, once we have our copper sorted out, our iron, all our stuff is actually working, then we can start working towards our next stage. Most definitely. Okay, so for now let's start building a little bit more in bulk, shall we? Alright, and now we have not only the belts but also the power settled. I've tried to make it as neat as possible, not to get too big of a spaghetti. So like well, it's basically exactly what we said we do. We connected all the machines, 2 for reinforced plate and 1 for rotors. The 1 for rotors is already playing, of course, and the other one we're still waiting for the copper wires all the way over there. So to end today's episode, which was of course complete the iron factory rebuild, we have to make those 2 the reinforced plate work and put them in storage. So let's do the one first that we can do easily. Let's put them into storage. And they're still close enough to the others that we don't have to walk very far. Put in, make it straight. And let's just make it as easy as we can for ourselves. Okay, so the rotors are already being made and they will slowly get into the basket. And as soon as we reconnect the reinforcement, connect, they will work as well. I already made the belts go in and I already put it right around the corner here to where it needs to come from. Now we just need to create a line from there all the way over here. And I already made the groundwork to make it a little bit more easy, a little bit more structured. So let's do that. Because the thing is, for the next episode, it's gonna be fine-tuning our copper factory. Because right now we have 1 miner, going into 2 smelters, and those are 2 constructors making wire, which is like the bare minimum. We can do 2 constructors per 1 smelter making wire. We're not doing even that. So that we need to settle. So basically what we're going to do, we're going to make sure we have at least 4 constructors making the wire. And I want to pick up another normal node of copper to this location so we can make even more. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take, that is not enough, I'm going to take these copper wires and I'm going to go take them directly from the box. You say, but then you won't save anything. I know. So basically what we're doing is all the wire that's being produced will go directly into the reinforced plate, and that's fine, because as soon as we rebuild the copper in our next episode, that would all be settled. The only thing we just need to do is get it there, and on the next one, when we rebuild everything, we just disconnect and reconnect in the same way. Alright. Apparently it's not totally straight, but that's fine. Which one is it? Default straight, yep. So let's see, let's build an elevator. Needs to go up, and is that good enough? Huh, actually straight, perfect. There's so many times that I connect that and it's just a little bit higher, a little bit lower, or even in the wrong direction, so I'm happy I got that. Alright, so that's already going down. Now we only need to bring this all the way back to our precious machine. Too far. Why is it yellow? Oh, we are running out of plates. Well, we can easily fix that because we connected our plates to storage and it's been on for a bit already. So yeah, we can totally take it from there. Let's pick it from this side then. Players in the way. Yes, I know. We're also missing concrete. It's the moment we're missing a lot of things. I'm glad when we got in storage we can just take everything whenever we need it. And if we go to next level storage, it's going to be even easier than that. For now, let's make sure we have everything a little bit close at hand. And 1,000 concrete will definitely help us for a bit. It's almost there. Come on. It might not be totally straight, but that's for now it's not important. The most important part is it's connected. It's coming, and once it's there, it will be working. Perfect. And that means that it can start producing those reinforced plates, the stitched version. And with 2, we will be getting more than 10 reinforced plates. So that should be really nice. I don't think we have enough wire coming from the top, but it can only be 60 per belt that we have right now. I don't even think we're not producing, but at least they will start producing, even if it's in a lower number. So that's it at least for today. Our plans for the next episode will be reworking our Mr. Cupboard here. which will resolve the issue of not getting enough copper wire to these two assemblers to make the reinforced plate, because we're gonna make at least twice we're having there right now, so we'll have plenty left, and we're gonna even add another layer to it, which would be even better, so that we prepared for the future of whatever we need. And there it is. I can already see it around the corner, and as soon as it hit, the lights will go from yellow to green. So yeah, so on the next agenda will be rebuilding our copper factory, make it better, and I think for a second I wanna add to it, well, the sink. We're not gonna be able to split rows just yet, automatically, that if it overflows that it goes to the sink, but we at least can make there so we can manually put it in. So once one of these boxes are full, we can take an entire row, put it in the sink, and get our first few points for it. Later on, when it's all automated, points will be flowing in left and right from everywhere. But now, we just want to start getting the points so we can unlock the first basic blocks for our factory. Because that's what we want, that's going to be interesting. So, for now, I wish you all a great night, morning, day, wherever you are. And if you're still here, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and be back next time. So until then, bye bye.